Hi, friends. So last year, when you were in first grade, your teacher should have taught you these lessons. But last year was a very strange year. And so this year, we're going to start out by reviewing some of the things that you were supposed to learn last year. The first thing I want to talk about is how to write a story. Your teacher probably talked about this with you a lot. The first thing you do, of course, is think of an idea, which is a thing you do or a thing that happened to you. So everybody had the coronavirus quarantine happen to them. So that's something right there that's an idea. The next thing you do is you make a plan. What happened first, then, next, and last. Then you're ready to write your story. So think of an idea, plan, and write. So go in that order. You don't start writing before you do either of these things. The next thing your teacher probably talked about was ways to bring story to life. First of all, unfreeze people. Oops, you can't see all that, can you? Sorry about that. Ways to bring stories to life. Unfreeze people. Make them move or make them talk. So, next, tell small steps. I wouldn't say, we went on quarantine and then we went back to school. There's a lot of things that happened in between there. So tell the small steps. First this happened, then this happened, then this happened. So 1, 2, 3, and you might have more steps than just 3. Lastly, bring out the inside. Make people feel and make people think. So I have a true story to share with you, and I want you to try and notice all of these things. What was my idea? When I planned, did I go in order? First, then next, last? Did I unfreeze people to make it interesting? Did I tell small steps? And did I bring out the insides? So in my story right here, in my notebook, I have a story. And you might see right here where I have this part sticking up. That's just a sticky note so that I can find my story later. I don't always want to go in exact order, and I also don't want to have to thumb through my whole entire book to look for that part of the story where I wrote. And so part of your school supplies were sticky notes. And so this is one of the ways that you can use your sticky notes. You also probably noticed that I put the date at the top. So today when I wrote this is before school started, was September, which is the 9th month, the first day, and the year is 2020, so 9/1/2020. And the last thing I'm hoping you noticed is I skipped lines. Skipping lines makes it easier for me to read, and it also makes it easier to make corrections in it. Okay, and the other thing is, and this is something I always forget to mention, but it's true, I have spaces between my words. It's really important that you put those spaces in, otherwise it's really hard to read your writing. Okay, so now we're gonna read it, and we're gonna notice how did I unfreeze people, tell small steps, and bring out the insides by showing feelings and thinking. One hot day in August, my family got out a slip and slide. First, Jude slid. "That was fun," he said. "You should try it." I felt nervous, but I dove onto the water slide. Guess what? It ended up being a lot of fun. I slid over and over until the sun went down. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is, did I tell small steps? Did I break it down? So we got out a slip and slide. First, Jude slid. So that's the first thing that happened. After that, he said, "That was fun. You should try it." I felt nervous, but then guess what I did? Here's the next small step. I dove onto the water slide. Guess what? It ended up being a lot of fun. I slid over and over until the sun went down. So we got out the slip and slide. That was the first step. The next thing that happened was Jude slid. And then he told us that it was fun and we should try it. I talked about how I felt nervous, but I dove onto it anyway. It ended up being a lot of fun and I slid over and over. So there were 5 steps that happened in my story. So I think I did a good job of telling small steps. The next thing, we're gonna see if I unfroze people, making them move, and making them talk. So one hot day in August, my family got out a slip and slide. First, Jude slid. He moved. Then he said, "That was fun. You should try it." He talked. He spoke. I felt nervous, but I dove onto the water slide. I moved too. Guess what? It ended up being a lot of fun. I slid over and over until the sun went down, and I just kept on going, so there was even more moving. The last thing that I want to look at is bring out the inside. Make people feel, make people think. One hot day in August, my family got out a slip and slide. First, Jude slid. That was fun. He said, "You should try it." He said it was fun. That's how he felt. It was fun, he said. I felt nervous. So I felt too. But I dove onto the water slide. Guess what? And here's where I'm sharing my thinking. It ended up being a lot of fun. I slid over and over until the sun went down. All those little things in our stories are helping us to understand what brings them to life. And that first part is how to write a story. Thanks for checking in. Today, you're going to start writing a story too. Just try to write something from your own life. It can be anything. Just start putting some words down on the paper, and I'm excited to see what you come up with too.